For decades, media sales operated as a volume-driven transaction. You sold sheer reach and delivered a predictable frequency of eyeballs to match. But for ACME Media, that reliable engine started to sputter. Their once dependable ad sales momentum hit an unexpected plateau. The problem was that every competing media seller was telling the exact same story. They all had the same reach and frequency data, which turned their ad inventory into an undifferentiated commodity. When every network offers the same volume, reach becomes a baseline expectation rather than a competitive advantage. In a market of commodities, the only way to compete is by driving prices down. Meanwhile, advertisers were asking increasingly complex questions. They needed to know exactly how a campaign would land with Gen Z and specific multicultural segments. Raw demographics weren't enough. Brands began demanding proof of cultural relevance and authenticity during their most critical campaign moments. ACME's SVP of sales realized the team was stuck in a transactional loop, armed with commodity data in a market that required deep strategic consultation. Advertisers spend based on confidence. They need to know their message will resonate with specific, diverse audiences without the risk of a cultural misstep. To solve this, ACME partnered with a platform called Collage to inject cultural intelligence directly into their sales motion. They introduced a new metric called the Brand Cultural Fluency Quotient, or BCFQ. The BCFQ is a weighted composite score that measures how culturally fluent a brand is. This chart shows a brand's BCFQ across specific demographics, like Hispanic, Black, White, and Asian segments, plotted against the category average. The data reveals precise performance gaps. Here, you can see the brand outperforming the category average by 14 points, specifically among unacculturated Hispanic consumers. BCFQ takes the abstract concept of culture and transforms it into a measurable, specific data point that a sales team can actually use. This led to a radical shift. Instead of showing off their own audience, ACME sellers started showing prospective advertisers the advertisers' own cultural blind spots. This heat map scores brands on fit, relevance, trust, memories, advocacy, and values across a category. ACME sellers could pinpoint exactly where a brand was failing. For instance, showing a client they were severely underperforming in trust or values compared to direct competitors. This creates immediate psychological leverage. The advertiser is suddenly confronted with a data-backed vulnerability they likely didn't know existed. When ACME reveals a brand's specific cultural weaknesses, the seller shifts into a consultative role, offering the precise solution for a newly identified problem. Once the cultural gap is exposed, ACME uses consumer-specific insights to prove how to fix it. This card breaks down the beliefs and passion points for a segment like Black consumers focused on health, highlighting key cultural attitudes like curiosity and honesty. ACME then maps those attitudes to media behaviors. In this case, 82% of the audience is on YouTube, and 75% are on streaming platforms, areas where ACME's own network over-indexes. ACME presents their ad inventory as the specific fix for the brand's cultural deficit, proving their platforms are exactly where these segments spend time. This wasn't just a few high-performing sellers getting lucky. ACME operationalized this strategy across the entire organization. They rolled the program out at a sales kickoff and created dedicated category and property playbooks. These playbooks provided repeatable best practices and case studies for positioning cultural relevance within specific industry verticals. By embedding cultural intelligence into their everyday workflows, ACME created a scalable, bulletproof machine for consultative selling. After 1 year, ad sales revenue increased by 19%. Advertisers committed larger budgets with greater confidence because the data removed the traditional guesswork of diverse audience reach. This completely differentiated ACME from competitors who were still peddling basic reach. Cultural intelligence drives modern revenue growth. In the current media landscape, the network that holds the deepest insights into the consumer wins the budget.